Alright, ladies and gentlemen, Fab's in the house, and today I'm in the house with something really cool. Here with me, I've got the Shirogorov Argument, and we're gonna be checking the look, the sound, and the feel of this bad boy. But first of all, let me say a huge thank you to my buddy Guillaume for sending this guy along, so I'm able to share my impressions with you, and we can chat about this pretty rare knife. And second of all, don't forget to like this video, and if you want, you can subscribe to the channel because that's gonna help me a lot in cranking these videos out. So let's get started checking the size, because this is a big knife. Overall length of this bad boy is gonna be 9.1 inches with a 4-inch long blade, but with a 3.875 cutting edge and a 5.25 inch long handle. So it's a big boy. Because, for example, check out Ontario Rat number 1, which is not a small knife. How is doing compared to that? Yeah, not doing that well. Even the Ontario Rat number 2, kind of like small, eh? But let's not even talk about the Benchmade bug out or like even the mini bug out. I mean, look at the mini bug out. It's kind of like disappearing next to this argument right there. Or Spyderco Para 3, boom, done. Check. Small. Spyderco Paramilitary 2, maybe you think that's gonna be... No, it's not gonna do it, because this guy is bigger than that. And you see some resemblance, right? Yeah, there's not a spider, there's a bear, but we are kind of like there in that department. And here you have Chris Reeve Knives Small Sebenza 21 for the occasion. And here you got the bigger brother, that's the also Chris Reeve Knives, and that's the large Sebenza 21. Let me show you another couple of items here. I've got the Shirogorov and Sienkiewicz collaboration. That's the Kami Flipper. And here we've got Koenig Knives Arius Style 55. And let me show you another couple here. What do we have? We have a pretty cool, actually, Hinder Knives XM18 Harpoon. And here you got the Eclipse in the house. But let me show you, of course, a couple, sorry, of Shirogorov. That's the custom division Hation, and here you have another custom division, that's the F95 Antique. So you have an idea. You can see this guy is like bigger than the full-size Shirogorov knives, and this is the Argument, and it's made by Shirogorov when, I think, before they even had the shop. This is probably dated 2008, and it's a strange one. It's a unique one. It's pretty rare because it has some wooden scales. It has an axis lock right over here, like in the Benchmade traditions. You see, this works like with an Omega spring, one per side, which are hinged underneath that, and they keep this pivot from going this way. So they keep the pivot pushing upward like that. The blade has maybe like that. The blade has like a notch, you see right there, and you pull this guy down to disengage the blade, and then the blade can deploy and then rolls around to find another notch and then just get pushed up to lock the blade in place, you see. That's actually the axis lock engaging, and that's really, really cool, because also acts as the detent, because like that it's rounded off. So that's going to be your detent, and that's going to be your stop pin right over here for the opening position. That's going to be the stop pin for the close position. Boom, like that. So nice, interesting axis lock on a Shirogorov with wooden scales, and some nice chamfering going on over here, which widens up right at this point, and pretty cool rounded off, guys. I have to say, it's chubby, it's a little bit boxy, but you can see already the craftsmanship going on into this knife. The finger groove over here, it's very cool, reminiscent of maybe like an F95. This bump, it's very different, and you have another finger groove, so that's gonna allocate your hand pretty nicely for sure. You have these liners which are not skeletonized, so that's might gonna be reflecting in the overall weight, but still you got some internal chamfering going on these liners, which is a pretty good thing. Then you don't have any backspacer. Here you've got 3 standoffs. The screws are gonna be underneath these wooden scales, and then you can see that there's like 1 lanyard hole option over here, like drilled through the scale, so you're going to be able to slide your paracord or like leather thread or whatever. And then you've got, of course, like a tip-up carry only pocket clip, which is not reversible. You cannot mount it on this side. It has a pretty nice spring tension. The clip ramp is pretty steep over here and very tall, so you can wear this guy in pretty thick pants, because look at that, how much area can be cleared with the clip, so that's pretty good. And then you got this very interesting blade shape with a thumb ramp and some jimping going on. Not much chamfering. I mean, there's a little bit of chamfering going on the spine of the blade, but the clip ramp, the thumb ramp is pretty good and effective to like create some bite for your thumb. And then you got a full flat grind, a little bit of flat here, but let's say it's full flat. Very different plunge grind than the classic Shirogorov that you can see nowadays. Nice belt grinds. You've got the Shiro logo over here, and basically like this Spyderco kind of feel over here, and then drop points and maybe 30% belly, straight edge up to the sharpening choil. And this guy, of course, you have a Spidey hole, which is not chamfered, and that's why to leave a little bit of sharpness, so you can actually have like a grip for the thumb flick or the Spidey hole flick like that. And very, very interesting. Let's check the stock thickness of this blade, because this doesn't look like super thin because it's going to be 0.155 inches, but behind the edge this guy is actually, let me see right over here, it's pretty thin. Look at that, 0.014135. I mean, that's a pretty sick slicer if you ask me. And also the steel, I mean, this is X12 MF steel. It's an interesting steel, maybe similar to D2, not the same. It's hard to sharpen this guy. The concentration of carbon is high and increased, like increases the wear resistance of the blade, and also reduces the resistance to corrosion. You cannot call this like stainless steel, but also it's not gonna rust like just if you just wash this guy, if you clean it up. So keep that in mind. Very, very interesting X12 MF steel. And also, I mean, this is almost like sterile looking blade. Of course, you've got the Shirogorov logo and the steel employed here, but beside that, you got a pretty clean looking blade. And also the sound is interesting, because hear this, very subdued. Nice and clickety-clackety. It's pretty fidgety. The spring tension is strong, and if you just whack it like this guy open, you might get a little bit of lock stick, but nothing too crazy. I mean, the sound, it's subdued, it's not loud, it's pleasant, it's good, it means quality. Let's quickly check the weight of this bad boy, because it's like not like a super lightweight by any means, because this guy is going to be 4.42 ounces, so it's not like super heavy as well. It's like a midway. For a big knife, it's kind of like has the weight contained, and that's because of the wood. Really cool handle, like nicely chamfered all around. It feels great in the hand. Not really sharp edges that I can feel. There's a little bit of hot spot over here only on the clip, but nothing too crazy. I mean, just a little bit. Nice jimping. Feels pretty good in the hand. Feels actually absolutely solid. With these 3 standoffs, it doesn't go or anywhere. It just doesn't flex. It's sturdy. It stays there. There's a little bit of texture, not that much. It feels a little bit slippery, but because of these grooves, it stays in the hand. It doesn't go anywhere. So that's pretty good as well. You got the scales very well aligned, I have to say, with the liners. You can maybe feel a little bit of burr right over here, but nothing too crazy. You feel a little bit of rattling when shaken, but it's probably because of the clip, maybe. Or no, it's just the blade rattling a little bit. Okay, but not like that. Oh yeah, there's a little bit of play. So, but I mean, because the axis lock, the nature of the lock, that the detent is pretty moving, wiggly. That's not an issue. It's just like how this guy has been engineered. You've got a little bit of lock stick here because it tends to do that. Probably this guy wasn't ever used. It has been kept as a collector's item, so it didn't really see any use. But I'm pretty confident the lock stick might wear out. Yeah, it might wear out with a little bit of fidgeting. You've got also, I'm assuming that this, because I can't, I'm not going to disassemble this one because it's not mine, but I'm assuming there's washers underneath here. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you guys know what's underneath here, because I don't know. Also, the action, I mean, it's pretty good. Of course, you've got very satisfying closing action. Look at that, very smooth. Deployment action is not that fast, but it's pleasant. You've got a nice detent strength. This guy, it can... If you shake it open, yeah, you can open it, but that's because of the nature of this detent for the axis lock, which is a little bit on the weak side. Also, I mean, this is a very unique knife. It's showcasing what later become like this, this kind of stuff. So that's like an evolution. That's the pre-story of the Shirogorov as we know it as of today, which started with some axis lock, with some spidey hole, with some interesting geometry for the blade, and interesting material used for the handle. Really cool sound, nice ergos, unique look for sure. So there you have it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and please don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned.